Hey guys, what is going on? This is Pantsar Dragon, and today we're going to be doing a little video on the upcoming Assassin rework, as they announced a summary to the Assassin rework that is upcoming to the pre-season. So we're just going to have a little discussion on these upcoming reworks and tell you what to expect in the future. And so with all that being said, let's get started.
Just as the light begins to fade to dawn.
Alright, so you might be wondering, why are they updating the assassins instead of like tanks or some shit? Well, basically they say blah blah blah, assassins are cancer to League, so they want to rework the class as a whole. Because when they did the marksman update, they were like, oh, all the marksmen kind of play the same, especially Graves and Lucian, they're exactly the same champion. But then they're like, let's give each AD carry an identity, instead of, oh, auto attack, die, 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 everyone dies, I win. And I think that's kind of similar with the assassin class right now. I mean, most assassins are like one shot and you die, especially Talon. Remember when I kept saying he looks at you and you instantly die? Yeah, that's basically what they want to get rid of. And they want to add more counterplay when you face these assassins. When you play these assassins, they want you to be like, oh, I outplayed that bitch. And when you're the hopeless AD carry, they want you to be like, oh, I got outplayed. Oh, I suck, I want to be a better player. Kind of like Zed, who, you need to dodge his skill shots and or flash away from him and just somehow outplay his ultimate. So that's going to be the goal for these reworks. And there's going to be 4 major updates coming to the assassins, while also 6 minor reworks coming in the preseason. And later on they also say blah blah blah, playing against a fed assassin feels pointless to play against, while trailing assassins feel pointless to play as or with. Take note that I don't know what trailing means. I think of trail mix, but I think in this scenario it means people who go like 0 and 7, which does fit this case. And yeah, basically they want to give these assassins more outplay potential, make more cool flashy plays, and give these people who are getting shit on by these assassins more outplay potential as well. Anyways, enough bullshit for today. Let's get right into the reworks. Alright, so Leblanc is going to be one of those major reworks, and I think they want to give her clone more buffs. They want to give it more interactivity, so expect cool things to happen to her clone. And they want to give Leblanc a little bit more deceptiveness, so if people can see through her tricks, then they can easily outplay her. So I'm thinking her W stays, but her Q, E, and R have a potential of just being completely different. Well, probably not completely different, but I think her ultimate might get a change. It's kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, it's not really an ultimate, it's just a copy of one of her skills, so nothing really cool about that. And they also want her to stay in close combat a little bit more longer than usual, to add more counterplay. So maybe her delay on her W before she can teleport back will be extended, but that's just my guess. And I don't know, maybe she'll have more than one image, kind of like Blademaster from Warcraft 3, but probably not, because you can only control your pet with alt click and there's no champions with 2 pets who can be controlled, so probably not. And now the next rework we're going to be talking about is going to be Talon. And as you can see, his title changes to the Nimble Runner, but right now it's the Blade Shadow. So they say Talon looks like the type of dude who looks down on you on top of a building and then just wanting to kill you, just you. So this implies they want to reduce his AoE, and now his actual gameplay says run at them instead of dash at them. So I'm guessing his E won't be a blink anymore, just probably a burst of speed. And then the coolest part I find about this little article is that it says rather than running straight at you, he'll be using the terrain around him to try and get closer to you. So this implies he's going to be hopping over walls and shit, or even probably getting movement speed when he's treading along walls, but Tally already has that. But I'm pretty sure they don't want to do redundant stuff, they want to do new mechanical stuff. And it seems like they want him to be more of an Assassin's Creed type of character. So he's going to be that champion who does parkour. I don't know how to say it. Parkour? Parkour? I don't know. But yeah, it seems like they want Talon to be more like this, which is what we all want, let's be honest here. So E, R, and passive are probably going to be getting a change, or he might just be a whole new champion in general, but who knows? Also, they want to focus his damage on that single target, so that when he does damage to multiple targets, there's more intent behind it. So I'm guessing there's going to be some AoE damage, but I'm not sure how it's going to work. Now the next rework we're going to be talking about is going to be Rengar. As you can see, his title turns into the Hunter instead of what it is right now, which is the Pride Stalker. I don't know if they're actually going to rework their titles, but I think they will, or maybe it's just like for this post. So I think this is going to be the second time Rengar gets reworked. Actually, I think he's been changed so much that he's basically kind of like Rise, but an assassin, and he's AD. So going on with the post, it says that Rengar should be a champion who is rewarded when he kills harder foes instead of going for weaker targets. And they like the bone tooth necklace, a part of his kit, so it looks like they're going to keep that aspect about him. And it looks like they're going to increase the potential of his empowered abilities, so there's more reward when you use them. So like Q is going to be more power, W is going to be defense, and E is going to be more catch. And it says for his ultimate that there are direct areas for improvement. A hunt requires both a prey and a predator, but right now it's kind of one-sided, and now they're going to be giving that prey more information. So what I think is going to happen is Rengar's ultimate is going to isolate one target, and if he kills that target, he gets more power. But it also seems like there's going to be more of a mini game included with this ultimate, so the prey has more fun, I think. So I'm pretty sure a lot of Rengar mains are going to be pissed about this update, but one-shotting is only fun for those Rengar mains, not for the person who's getting one-shotted, especially if you're someone like Ashe or Misfortune or anyone in mobile. But this rework is definitely going to be interesting. Next up, let's talk about Katarina. She's going to be the last of the 4 who's getting a major rework, and now her title is the Pentakiller instead of the Sinister Blade. So I don't think the titles in this article will be the new titles for everyone. The Pentakiller title doesn't really have any relation with the lore. I don't think champions in the game know what a pentakill is, so that's why I think these titles won't be in game. Just kind of a headliner. So I think this is going to be Katarina's 3rd rework. She already had one, which is the one you see now, but now in her 3rd update, basically this first paragraph says they like the fundamental of her basic abilities being spammed in a team fight and want people to jump in for that perfect moment so she can get that pentakill, and they like it when she fails and dies, because that means the player screwed up. But what they're going to do is give her more mobility, but they're also going to be slowing down her abilities so people understand what she's doing in a team fight. But that's basically going to be Katarina. It's pretty simple. I have zero prediction of what's going to happen to her, so it is going to be pretty interesting on what happens. And now finally we're going to be doing the minor reworks, and first up is going to be Fizz. They know he's an initiator, so they want to make it more noticeable that he's an initiator, and they also want to make him more slippery, so I'm thinking his Q and E will have less cooldown but less damage. And his abilities probably won't be having any changes like, you know, big major rework changes. Alright, so the next minor rework is going to be Kha'Zix. They want each of his evolutions to be unique and equally powerful, so you need to make a good decision when you want to evolve your abilities. I don't really know what they're going to do, but W and R are like the most useless ones, so maybe just the buff on his W and R and maybe E, because Q is the one you always want to get first. But I mean, Q is like nuke, W is like poke, E is reset, and R, that's like survivability. Then they say some more things, but it's basically what he does right now. Well, kind of. He just jumps in and gets a kill and then resets and gets more kills, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. Now they're doing one for Echo, and they hate how he's a tank right now, so I'm not sure, maybe gonna amp the damage up and turn down the CC just a little bit, or his base damage, which they've been trying to do for a while. And then next up is going to be Shaco, who I think should be a major rework, but or at least he's getting a rework of some kind. And what they want to do is tone down his early ganks and tone up his trickiness. So maybe his Q's cooldown will be lowered, and his ultimate will have more of an impact on fights, I think. But it seems like they also want to improve his mid game and late game, so that'll be really interesting. I definitely want to see how he's going to be played out. Next up is going to be Akali. So they say they're updating stealth, which we'll get into later, but they're going to be giving her more tools than just damage and invisibility. So it sounds like a major rework, but I'm not sure what kind of tools they're going to be giving her. But here's a spoiler for stealth. Pink wards won't be revealing invisible champions anymore, so I'm thinking her W might be like super OP or something, but we just have to see. And finally, the last minor rework we're going to be talking about is going to be Zed. So they say Zed right now is a little bit too consistent. They want him to feel like he has good and bad matchups, when right now he's really good at every matchup because he's kind of ranged and pokey in lane. So they're going to be shitting on his laning phase, but they're going to be giving him benefits when he kills the right target with his death mark. So what I'm thinking is maybe like bonus AD, bonus attack speed temporarily after you kill your target. So you temporarily become a monster in team fights when you kill your target, and you just kill everyone. That's what I think might happen, but I don't know what kind of other benefits he could get when he kills his death marked target. But yeah, if he's like super shit in laning phase, he probably won't be played at all. But what I'm expecting is if they shit on his laning phase, they'll make his mid game and late game a little bit better. And now they're going to be doing some updates to the items for assassins, so maybe new potential items coming out for assassins, such as like giving more mobility around the map, avoiding detection, so maybe a buff to Red Sweeper, or benefiting their team as a whole. I'm not sure what that last part means, but they also say they're going to be updating flat armor penetration items, and they want to make it scale better when you're behind. So it seems like they're going to be increasing the AD and lowering the armor penetration, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And finally, they're going to be updating the invisibility. So Riot doesn't like it when you're invisible and then someone puts down a pink ward and they just basically counter you. They don't like that. So that doesn't happen anymore. And that's going to be a buff to people like Akali, Shaco. Actually, here's a list of champions who can stealth. So all of these champions will be getting a buff. But I don't know what they're going to be doing for Vayne and Twitch. Those are like very good abusers of stealth, but they'll probably balance around it later when it becomes a problem. and they'll also be bringing in camouflage stealth, which Evelyn already has. But I wonder who else is going to have this. I'm pretty sure Rengar is going to be having this camouflage stealth, but if there are going to be champions who have this stealth, the game's just going to be more frustrating because dealing with an Evelyn, that's just not fun at all. So hopefully it's just her and maybe Rengar, but yeah, I mean, this is actually a pretty interesting change. I wonder how it's going to shape League of Legends as a whole, but that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Pantar Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.